Hey everyone, it's Matt with Redline Studios here in New York City with another Film and Television Tuesday tip. Tuesday tips are all about giving advice to young filmmakers out there that derive from the experiences I've encountered on sets, in edit rooms, and in pitch meetings throughout my career. Today's Tuesday tip topic is a green screen hack I learned a long time ago. I once had to shoot 3 interviews in the same ugly, dingy hotel and make them look like 3 completely different locations. Well, that's producing for you. You can plan as much as you want and you can prep, schedule, and build the right crew, bring the right gear, but once you're in the field, something is always bound to go wrong. And when it does, the job becomes problem solving 101. Early in my career, I used to joke that making a film or TV show felt like going to war. You plan, you assemble your team, you try to execute, and then all hell breaks loose. Looking back now, after years in the field, you really do feel like a seasoned veteran, thinking about the battles you survived and the solutions you had to come up with on the fly just to survive. This particular shoot was a low-budget documentary, a small crew, really pared-down gear package, and we were traveling across the country to capture interviews in environments that reflected where each subject lived. That was part of the storytelling process. Then some schedules changed. Suddenly, I had to interview several people in the same location, and that location was a completely lifeless hotel in the middle of nowhere in the dead of winter. There was no decor, there was no character, there was only one common room to use. And because of the subject matter, the interviews really could not feel like they were existing in the same space. It would have distracted from the story and it would have taken away from the experience. That's where I had to adapt as a producer and a director. For the first interview, I used duvetine, which is this thick black fabric normally used to block light. When you light duvetine properly, it creates this deep black void behind the subject. In fact, it absorbs light, it sucks it up. And for this particular person who had an air of mystery about him, that choice aesthetically made the most sense, right? So 1 out of my 3, that's how we deal with it. We hang duvetine, which we had on hand. We make him look like he's in this void of black space. 1 out of 3 solved. I want to throw a quick side note out there. Don't ever be afraid to ask what something is on set. Film crews love to use shorthand, duve, bullets, glass. If you don't know what the hell they're talking about, just ask. It's the only way you're going to learn. So, back to this problem. For the second interview, I leaned into my limitations. The room was big, it was empty, filled with unused chairs. The subject matter that we were talking about was loneliness and isolation. So instead of fighting it, I actually just let the environment be. Now, the third interview. What the hell am I going to do? There really is no other options. There was nothing left. There's no alternative rooms. I knew we had duvetine on hand, so I quickly asked my DP, do we have any green screen material as well? And we didn't, but it did give me this kind of eureka moment. I asked my DP, do we have any really strong green gels? Yeah, he asks me, almost kind of like, what the hell are you thinking? And so I tell him, what I'm thinking is I see a really boring, flat, big white wall in that one direction. And I'm wondering if we can blast it with green light and essentially treat it like a green screen. By this point, I had done hundreds of shoots with this DP and we had never done anything like this. But in theory, it should work. The subject was not wearing any green. It was a flat white wall behind him. And as long as we could blast that white wall with evenly lit, strong green light, it should be able to key in post. But before committing to it, I took some stills, I took some short video, and I sent them through email, because yep, it was back then before we had smartphones, to my VFX guy in New York City. And I said, hey, Vinny, let me know if you can key this. The last thing I wanted to do was shoot an hour-long interview and end up with some unusable Christmas green wall behind this guy. Vinny shoots me back an email, lets me know that the thing keys. Problem solved. The takeaway here is this. Producers need to understand post-production. Don't rely entirely on your crew or your gear to solve every problem. When you understand editing, VFX, and finishing, even just the basic elements of it, you can create solutions on the spot. and you become far more valuable in the field than for someone who has no understanding of how anything works. To be honest with you, I was very proud of this solution, and I learned from it. I'll tell you this much, I never did another shoot after that where I didn't bring green screen with me. Even though the lighting effect on the wall worked, I didn't want to have to go through that again. That's producing, and that's thinking outside the box, because most of the time, the struggle is the job. That is the job. You are there to fix the problems that are going to inherently happen every single time. I hope you enjoyed this Tuesday tip. Please remember to like, share, and follow us on social media or visit our company site at www.redlinestudios.net.